Hello and welcome to this segment of Studio60. We have with us in the studio Mr. Nikhil Soneja, a man with numerous feathers in his cap. Apart from being the director of Halicon Technologies, he also currently serves as the chairman of the UAE Scrabble Club, being ranked among the top 10 Scrabble players in the Arabian Gulf. He's also contributed greatly to the Scrabble playing community over here by organizing games, tournaments and coaching camps. Additionally, he's an avid quizzer and is currently ranked first in the Middle East in the World Quiz Rankings. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you.
Let's start by asking you about your venture into the world of Scrabble.
Well, I mean, I started off when I was in school, so it's been eons ago, of course. And I was in Bahrain at the time, and Scrabble was very big in Bahrain. This was, say, without giving away my age, 1992. So, just one of these days I happened to notice a few other students playing in school, and I just asked them, I've seen Scrabble, but what are you guys playing for? I mean, it's the break time, shouldn't you be going out or something? They said, no, we've got a Scrabble club and we play competitively. And so I just started off there, and here I am so many years later, full circle.
So, sir, after developing so many skills in Scrabble, how do you think it has helped you in your personal life or in your day-to-day activities?
I think it sharpens your mind. You need all sorts of activities. Sometimes a hobby can be a matter of sanity. You really feel like you need something that just keeps you on your toes. And it's very easy when you're working. After when you're in college or in school, you can chase all these activities and you feel. But when you're working, you get a bit single-minded. So it's really important that you can just expand your horizons and stick to something that just gives you a change. And I think that's very important.
So I'd like to ask you another question. Reading among children and even adults nowadays has reduced because of the advent of technology and iPads and stuff like that. Do you think this had a negative impact on quizzing and Scrabble?
No, actually, I mean, I might think the opposite. In fact, I'm not sure I would agree with that point that the technology has affected the reading, because it's just changed the medium. And it is something that's a lot for us to take in, with to understand, because we've grown up with our favorite books and reading and this thing. But I'm pretty confident that there are still children who enjoy reading, even if it's in a different medium. In terms of Scrabble, I think the internet and technology has really helped, because there's so many more avenues. Before, it always used to be you had to have a big board, you had to carry that around, and if you had to find somebody to play with. Now you can just go online and have a quick game. It doesn't replace the real interactive thing, but it does fill in the spaces in between. And the same with quizzing. I mean, it's so much information and there's so many things online. So I think technology in general has been good for both of these things.
Yes, sir, you were talking about technology, sir. So what I would like to ask you, so you mentioned that UAE highest rank have been the 5th rank in the World Scrabble Championship. So do you think they can come up, with more higher ranks in the coming up championships?
Yeah, I think the sky's the limit. Like I said, we've had this for the last 2 years. The world under-16 champion has been from the UAE, and I mean, it's not just me saying. I mean, obviously, I'm a bit biased given that there, but even other people have commented, like that seeing the talent in the UAE, and seeing the brain power, there's a lot of potential, and it's just a question of how we harness it. The kids who are doing well in the age group now will eventually go on to be there. And I think kids, in fact, have a natural advantage. When I say kids, I mean in general younger people. They have a natural advantage because their brains move so much faster. Their memories are actually better. As you get older, I mean, even say by my age, you're not as sharp as you used to be. You're remembering words and things. It's so. I mean, I'm amazed at the capacity that's there in kids and here for learning Scrabble. And I think, in the next 5 years or something, they will definitely be. You might see a world champion from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a director of a company and one of the leading champions of Scrabble and quizzing. How do you manage your professional responsibilities and these passions?
Well, I make it a point to manage that. I mean, it isn't easy. Especially at the start, when it was a question of setting up a business and doing that. But like I said, I mean, it is a matter of sanity. If I there are times when I've had to maybe not focus on these other activities and obviously concentrate on work. But I always feel a sigh of relief when I go back to these also. It helps me keep stable in the other side of things, because You know, I always believe your mind needs some sort of, it shouldn't be too focused. I mean, obviously it's good to be focused, but it shouldn't be too set in one way. You know, you need to have something that expands your horizon, and it feeds off each other. You know, it definitely builds how you yourself, you know, respond to different acts.
Thank you.
I would like to ask one more question. That is, do you think this kind of mind sport can reduce mental stress?
Yeah.
Within the
It does a lot. I know it works for me. You know, it's if there is something, you know, after you have a tough week at work, you know, I know a number of Scrabble players do that. They might end up playing online. You know, they might go and play a few hours, and it just, you know, brings everything back to normal. There's a lot of calmness. I mean, it's very smart that you've spotted that, but that's exactly, you know, one of the big strengths of that. You know, that it does reduce stress. And you know, I'd like to say also, as people get older, you know, I mean, Scrabble is something that people stick to for life. You know, and as people get older, it's really helpful for averting things like, you know, I know older people, we're always worried about the onset of things like Alzheimer's and all that. So Scrabble and all these, you know, keeping your mind active, it definitely reduces stress, and it also helps you keep sharp. Yeah.
Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us, sir.
Thank you so much for
It's a
having me.
pleasure having you.
Okay.
That's all we have for this segment of Studio 60. We'll be right back.